Hey YouTube, this is Roy. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Today is Sunday. I wanted to bring you guys this video really quick. For the gentleman, well actually today's video is for actually two people. For Shepherd's Fleet and for David B. David B had asked us before when we first posted the videos on the toolboxes if we could talk about the little blue US General. This box, the reason why, it's kind of different from the rest, we got this one because the wife started experiment with window tinting, and so she kind of likes this little box because she says, it's got all these little compartments and I can put my blades, I could put the scrapers. This has a lid so that you can open the lid. And this just sits here. It's not bolted to the box. We just grabbed it by the handles the day we mounted it on top of the box. But if you guys notice, it's got, and she labeled everything too on the side. So like before I open, I'll have her pan over on this side. And she labeled it with the same color as the box with the blue letters. And so here, like for what you're gonna use for window tinting is like blades. I think this is scrapers. Over here, I think she's got glue, markers. She also does headliners, so I'm sure sometimes she has to mark a little hole or where you're gonna drill. Scissors, and if you guys notice, you can't have enough scissors. You always need scissors for something. This is clips, so this is all clips. Plastic blades, this is the stuff you use to like tuck the window and stuff. What's the next one? Small grinding tool, upholstery tool. So this is like a little Dremel, and all of these. She recently got these from Blue Point. These are pretty nice. They're kind of like flexible blades and stuff you use when you're taking the bigger pieces of plastic. We got this many years ago from Mac Tools. So I'm sure Don Master probably has one of these. I know that he collects a lot of the Mac Tools. We have a couple that we've saved over the years. So that's this top box. So going down to the next one, it says wall. Oh, so this is where she has like screwdrivers and anchors. And you almost need a box like this to have all your household goods, like little pieces that you don't want to put in your regular box, but that you want to make space. Like she's got brushes, and this one's got staples. There's an air staple gun. So you almost need a little box like this to keep all the little, there's clips and stuff for plastic, another Dremel. I think she even has like a heat temperature gun right there. So, and this, since we don't do a lot of that, this is only when we're doing air conditioning that we use that. Let's see what else is here. Tape, if you're working on something, you're always gonna need tape. This is kind of neat. She's even got an umbrella with a flashlight. So, tape for boxing, tape for painting. And then this here, she's got little cases where she keeps all the smaller pieces, like stuff like this. Bigger nuts and bolts, washers, and then another one like that that's just like full of bolts and nuts. So you need space, folks, to have stuff like this. Trays full of because you never know when you're gonna need those. These came, we got these from Snap-on. They came in that little baggie that I have gotten a few months ago. So she uses it to keep stuff kind of organized. And then the very last, I think there's like drills and heat guns and stuff like that. And so a lot of you guys are probably saying, well, Roy, how come you guys didn't go on the Snap-on like this model? And we decided to go this way first. First, because it was cheap. Snap-on makes a box like this with the top drawer too. The problem is it'll probably be twice the price of this one. And until the window tinting business picks up and all of that, we couldn't justify doing that. So somewhere, unless they had a trade-in on the truck that was just worth trading. But the Snap-on guys did tell us if we ever do have one and you need to upgrade or trade, we'll take the US General and trade it for that one. But for this, so far we've been happy. It's a pretty box. If I close the top, you also have a top compartment, and here I just have like extension cords, rope, stuff that you normally don't use. And when you close this, and then this has you just have to make sure that these drawers are closed before you lock it. So on the video for the gentleman of the Shepherd's Fleet, if you notice too, and you probably heard that on the video, unless these drawers are closed all the way, in this box had this little defect here, I guess where the metal meets this trim right here. It's kind of tight, like it's not as smooth opening. And so eventually, I don't know if that would come off or if the welds right here would, come off. But, for the type of job that he's doing, it's got handles. It is kind of heavy, so it will be a little bit heavy once you start putting the tools in here. What I did want to show the guys really quick also, when you open this drawer, if you notice these slides, they're kind of, compared to say the Snap-ons, they're kind of like, they're not very, how do you say, heavy duty. So for what the wife is using this box for is okay, because a lot of these items are not heavy. But I'm thinking that once you're putting wrenches, screwdrivers, stuff like that, it's gonna make it, so I don't know how good that's gonna hold up. And especially if you grab this box by the ears and you're unloading and doing all of that. So I wanted to show that. And another thing too, these slides, say if I ruin one today, you guys may know more than I do. I don't know if I can go to Harbor Freight and tell them, look, I broke this. Can you guys, give me a new one? I don't know how. We haven't had that problem, so I don't know if Harbor Freight would actually do that. I know with the Snap-ons, if something happens, I just ask Jesse on the truck, this needs to be replaced, and he fixes it for me. The other option that I also thought for the gentleman that does the fleet work, if he got this piece from Snap-on, this sits on top of this. But you could tell the metal on this versus this is a little thicker. The slides also, if you compared that slide and look at the size of this slide, this would probably fit more of what he's working on, because if you this one is only going to open, like for example, if that's open. So if you look at this slide and you look at this slide, you can tell the difference. Now these, they have a lifetime replacement. These I don't know, because we hadn't had to deal with that. I guess I would have to go to the Harbor Freight store and ask them how that would work. It may be that you have to buy them, we don't know. But for the gentleman that has the fleet service, I think this would work good. If he bought something that looked like this, that was like used, because this is a little bit more heavy, they would just have to figure out how to build like something that he can pull, or maybe weld some kind of device to where he could carry this. This also opens from the top. So this area is pretty deep. So if he had, you know, chargers, impact guns and stuff like that, that would fit perfect there. And many years ago, before I got my big box, these I guess you could say the longer drawers. This is where I used to have my my sockets. So he could have these two for sockets. Then he could have these for like his you know, like wrenches and screwdrivers. But I think something like this would be more practical for him because of the size of the slots. And once you start putting heavy stuff, it needs to support it. Otherwise, it'll just, you know, it'll be flimsy. And so if you could get something like this used, the other thing I was thinking of, he could probably leave his phone number and information in some of the local pawn shops. And if they ever do get an old box that looks like this, if you guys remember some of the old Craftsmen, I think were a lot better built. Nowadays, if you search Amazon, maybe if you go to Menards may have something that could be like a road box. He just needs something that's going to support the weight if he's going in and out of his truck. Now, if the other thing that I was thinking too, he could go with something like this Blue General. If he had a van where you could actually set this whole box inside the van, and if this was strapped to the wall where this didn't move, you could probably, you know, go with something like that. But if he's loading a lot of tools, he'll have to go more with something heavy duty. And like I said, he could leave phone numbers at the local pawn shops, so whenever they do get a box. And another place where he could go to is he could check like with Sunbelt Rentals. Some of those places that rent equipment, sometimes they'll have pieces or boxes that were bolted like on trailers and stuff. It may be that he may have to go to like a truck accessory place to have, sometimes they have those square diamond plates. You know, they're flip tops, so we don't know how much space he has to use a flip top. I think what he was looking for would be something that had more like drawers where he could just stand in his truck and if he needs something, pull it out. So I would check some of those places too, the local pawn shops, to find something more heavy duty. I think this is more for the home. I think if you're working out of your truck and stuff, and then you want something with more of a security lock, or even something that you could that has a bigger lock. So that's that was the difference between the two boxes. And it's pretty nice. I love, like the wife's box. I love it that it's got the it's like a midnight blue, and we wax them. That's why they're nice and shiny. And I try to keep the dust off. I mean, it's a beautiful box. We fell in love with it when we went to the store, and we do buy some Harbor Freight stuff. You know, tools that that you can break and you're okay, and you just go back to the store and get you a new one. And on this case, the project that she started with the window tinting, she says, I don't justify buying an expensive box for what I'm going to store. But for you guys at home that just want to store like a hammer, maybe some screwdrivers, little bolts and nuts, this is fine. And what I like about it too, versus some of these other ones, is that it's deep enough, but it's not like super skinny, so it does have some space, but it also doesn't take a lot of space in your garage. So like, and this one is not like up against the wall, but if you look at some of these other boxes, they kind of protrude out a little bit. And if you don't have a lot of space in your house, that's that could be a deal breaker. And then, like I said, on these, I haven't had, even on the longer drawers, and you know, if you guys look at this one, if you notice these, they're very flimsy. And there's not an area where you could put a double one to get it to support a little better. So I would look at in some of your pawn shops, sometimes there used to be some of the old Craftsman. I think those were a little bit made than these. But thank you for watching. We kind of did a comparison. You guys let me know. And for some of you, this is my first time for me. I don't know, but for the guys that do go to Harbor Freight and decide to buy one of their boxes, ask them if these slides, if it breaks, do you have to buy them, or does Harbor Freight, do they have a lifetime replacement? Those are things to find out. So keep me posted, leave it in the comments. And if there was something that I missed tonight, let me know, and that way I can get back to you guys. And thank you for sharing with us. And and another thing too, guys, really quick. These slides right here have a little channel, and I use the grease to grease them so that these are nice and smooth. So I guess it's kind of like little maintenance that I do on the boxes. So that I keep them greased so that they slide in and out. But thank you, and if I missed anything, let us know. And thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow when Jesse's here. So you guys have a good weekend. Bye.